Greetings, this is Calvin Thorborn. This is the pilot episode of the Universal Information Report, or UIR. Nah, it doesn't have a good ring to it. So maybe you guys can come up with the name of this segment. And since this is the pilot episode, as you know, pilots usually get canceled, shows get canceled. So we'll see how this works out. I just wanted to go over a sales book. Since I can't sit with everybody and go over the sales book, I figure I'll touch on some key items and highlight items and see how this works. So we're going to talk about this book right here with 50 Cent on one cover and Kanye on the other cover. And we'll see who's going to win that battle. But in the end, we all win, don't we? 50 Cent. Curtis is the name of the new album. 50 Cent has sold multi-platinum on every album. I Get Money and Ayo Technology are the two singles. They're getting airplay on the videos. I mean, I don't even have to talk about 50 Cent because unless you're living under a rock, you know what the deal is. Order up 50 Cent. So we're going to talk about Scott Matthews because I know some of you, it's this page. I don't know if you can really see it. And you probably was like, who's Scott Matthews? Well, it's comparable to James Morrison, I hear. So, you know, he's from England. Let's see what we can make happen with that. Another franchise that has done very well is the Grey's Anatomy soundtracks. Well, we're releasing Grey's Anatomy 3. They're dropping a DVD when we drop the CD. This one boasts the likes of Feist, Grace Potter, Robert Randolph, and John Legend, to name a few. So if you've done well with the previous Grey's Anatomy soundtracks, you might want to pick this one up as well. Okay, Kanye West. I'm just going to touch on this quickly because it's the same situation. His last album was phenomenal and it did very well. This album will probably exceed the last album just based on what's happening out there. The video is being played tons of times and it's songs all over the radio. So you just have to make sure you don't get stuck with not enough stock of Kanye West. Scheduled for 9/18, we have Chamillionaire. Boom. Hip Hop Police is the new single. He also has the highest selling ringtone ever with Ridin' Dirty. You know that song. His first album sold 130,000 copies before Ridin' Dirty became a hit single. So if that gives you any indication of his fan base, keep that in mind while you're ordering this new album. On 9/18, we're also releasing a John Coltrane box set. It has rare cuts on it. A lot of his music from the 1950s. So if you're a jazz lover or if you have a jazz clientele, you might consider taking this in. It's kind of funny to talk about Christmas, and it's 100 degrees in Atlanta, but Boney James is releasing a Christmas album called Christmas Present, and it's going to have special guests Angie Stone, Shantae Moore, Rick Braun, and Anthony Hamilton, to name a few. So you might want to consider that title. You know her, you love her. It's Diana Krall. You see it? You see it? This is the first best of that she's released, and it has unreleased tracks. So this one she will be promoting. There is a $1.35 rebate for the first 2 weeks. So keep that in mind. If you are SoundScan, you automatically will get that rebate. Reba McEntire, y'all. Reba McEntire is releasing a duets album, and she has Kenny Chesney on it, Rascal Flatts, Trisha Yearwood, Justin Timberlake, and the first single is the fastest moving single in years. The Because of You remake with Kelly Clarkson is doing really well. She's going to do all kind of press and TV. Larry King, she'll be on The View, and her CMT Crossroads is going to air again. They're going to continue to air that. So this Reba should do very well. Next up, we have Maya, Liberation. It's a 9/18 release. It's a J12 title. Ridin' is the single. It's the #1 most added at Urban Radio. And she was in Atlanta to promote this album, and she's not a bad bowler. So there you go. Look over at the next page. You got Rogue Wave. It's a J12 title. They're from Oakland, California. Lake Michigan is the new single. They've had music on all of the following TV shows: The OC, Heroes, Napoleon Dynamite, not a TV show, a movie. They've toured with the Shins and My Morning Jack. So if that gives you any indication of the type of artist they are, you know, order accordingly. Here's an electronica group called Simian Mobile Disco, or SMD if you will. This is what it looks like in the book. You're probably wondering who they are. I think their biggest claim to fame was, I think there was a European MTV Video Awards, and they beat Kanye West. So that's their claim to fame. Then right on the next page, you have Across the Universe. You might have seen the video, the trailers for the movie, but it's the same director who brought The Lion King to Broadway. Bono is in the movie and on the soundtrack. And if you're wondering, the movie for Across the Universe is 9/14. Matt White might be the next big thing when it comes to the Screaming Girls. He's going to be doing a secret deodorant TV spot, and it starts airing September 7th. In addition, he's gotten some song placements on What About Brian, Men in Trees, The Hills, Laguna Beach, One Tree Hill. So that's kind of his demographic, and we hope for big things as we break this new artist. We're not going to cover all the classical titles, but I do want to touch on one classical title in particular, or opera I should say, Anna Netrebko and Rolando Bilasson, right here. They are touted as the hottest couple in opera. They are performing Romeo and Juliet at the Met. The one sheet says hardbound book, but it's actually going to be a hardbound digipack, so keep that in mind. But if you sell opera or classical, you definitely need to have this. You also may want to consider Leonard Bernstein's West Side Story. We're releasing a 50th anniversary edition, and it's combining the CD with the DVD. It was made in the 80s, it's conducted by Leonard Bernstein, so you might want to check that out. Another interesting release we have from Decca is Luciano Pavarotti's Greatest Hits. It hasn't been available for the last 10 years, but every time it's been available, it's consistently sold and been one of Luciano Pavarotti's greatest selling CDs. 9/18 is the release date, and I don't know if you know, Luciano Pavarotti is not doing very well right now. So I don't know what better way to pay tribute to a person than to support their music. So keep that in mind. In the interest of time, I didn't cover every single item in the book. But that does not mean it's not important. So please, when you get a chance, read through some of this stuff. So as you speak to your sales rep, make sure that you're getting all the possible deals on your midline product. Make sure that you are signed up and enrolled for any deal that we are offering, because they are good. And as we go into this fourth quarter, we all want to maximize our profit. So do what you got to do. So we guarantee early delivery when your order is in, on time or early. So please get your order in early. Thank you for your time, and I hope that this was informative, and I hope I didn't take up too much of your time, okay? Take care.